let me tell you something. These two fine gentlemen right here, U of R champions, U of R relay team sprinters. Jonah, we go way back to 100s in high school. We're talking like man was clocking sub 11s in grade 10. I was like,
perfect.
okay. What?
You guys have multiple cameras over there?
Yeah, we have 2 cameras in here. Welcome back to UK Reality Check. You know, it's VT and you're already here and Xay Dryz. You already know what's going on. But here we are. Introduce yourself. We got Jonah and Dawson. Go ahead, man.
Got it?
Yeah. Yeah. What's up? I'm Dawson, coach, co-founder, Met Athletics.
Talk to him.
Fixed track athlete for Jack Cougars. That's how we kind of have bond through the track community. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're dying. So I'm Jonah, other co-founder of Met Athletics. Washed up track athlete.
What's up, track athletes? My gosh. Now we got to change these narratives real quick. Facts. Facts.
Ready track, yeah. I was crossed paths a couple times along the way. Here we are doing a podcast with the fella.
Yes, sir. Oh, on the way.
I appreciate you guys for hopping on, and let me tell you something. These two fine gentlemen right here, U of R champions, U of R relay team sprinters. Jonah, we go way back to 100s in high school.
Really?
We're talking like man was clocking sub 11s in grade 10. I was like, chill out, man. But yeah, this was him, bro. This was him, and they're now out here together, sort of changing the narrative on what it is that we are teaching in terms of not only a mindset, but around, children believing that, that person just better than I am. I can't achieve that. If you want it, you can get it. Everybody can get it. And so this is what Dawson and Jonah are talking about. If you just mind, like, why'd you choose that as a goal? Straight off the bat, we're hitting it with a heater.
Yeah, I guess I can speak to that a little bit. I mean, I like a lot of coaches out there that transition into coaching, aggressively average athlete growing up.
Yeah.
Myself and get better, and then you kind of just get addicted to the process along the way.
Right.
I feel like I was one of those kids growing up that a lot of coaches would tell you, like, you're either born fast, like you have it or you don't kind of thing. And then when I kind of started learning more about the sport, about the technical side and training methodology in general, you learn, okay, you can actually make some improvements. And I made the most improvements training myself and learning more about it. So that's kind of what got me addicted to the process. And then I wish I had that resource growing up. I feel like, I don't know, there's a lot of kids that just like have so much energy and so much drive, but they just don't know where to put it, or they don't know how to apply it properly.
Yeah.
I feel like if you need that resource for kids, that'd be a dream come true.
Yep. I feel like for me, it's a little more personal. Like, coming out of high school, I had pretty high expectations about like my sports career, I guess.
Right.
And it didn't all go how I expected it to. And when that happens, it's such a feeling that it's like I don't want to go through this myself, but also if I can help other people not to go through an experience like that, then that's a big win. Like if I can help an athlete either realize their potential or just like help them get really damn good, because you only get one sports career, right? It's like you think it lasts forever until you're done with it, and it's like, damn, that either that was sick or that was so it's like,
right.
I just want to help athletes and kids, honestly, and give them as much free value and overall value as possible.
Right. No, I appreciate. Hey, man, thank you guys so much for sharing. I just even speak to that, Jonah. It's interesting because, say for example, we're looking at it from the lens that now you're in a position where you're qualified to talk about that same exact topic, right? And you're filling a need where you found like there was like a rut And so I feel like there's going to be a lot of value added for that space that you're going to be in, but also your experience qualifies you to be in this exact position right here. So it's like, yeah, it might not be the way we wanted it to happen, but you're now building on that, right? And
Yeah,
that you're using it as exactly. So, you know, just the mindset piece around that. I know we talk to Reality Check TV about the mind all the time, and you know, we keep it 100. So
Hey,
yeah, man, what's
now
your
listen,
thoughts?
I have it's kind of a question, but like I'm gonna pose it to y'all three because y'all are the athletes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Track stars here. You know what I mean?
Stars, man.
Yeah, listen.
Multiple provincial teams, like
I'm just over here just making music by myself. You know what I
nationals.
mean? Like, hey. So, but like, my question is because I know that there's this kind of narrative, and it kind of goes beyond just sports too. But like, there's this kind of narrative where it's like people who don't achieve what they wanted to achieve in whatever industry they're in, especially if it's an athletic industry, they go to teaching. And I feel like that narrative is so like, because teachers are necessary, you know what I mean? Like and so, I mean, first of all, I just wanted to ask if like all three of you could speak to that point, just like how that feels, or like if you've ever felt like kind of feeling like that, like, oh, I'm resorting to this because it didn't work out or whatever, or how you feel about that whole sentiment.
Yep.
That's a great question.
I feel like a lot of the best teachers in the world are people who are not teaching from a textbook, but teaching like from experience. It's like the textbook and like the science and the facts, like those. Yeah, sure, those are important and those help. But like when you go to a mentor or something, it's like you want someone who's like been through the battle. It's because then you can learn what not to do from their mistakes, and then learn what to do from either the things that they did right or like the science or the facts or whatever that they're starting to learn now. So I've noticed that is very true. Like people, like athletes, a lot of the time go into like a coaching or a teaching role, or people you see it all the time in business is like people build successful businesses, and then what do? They sell how to build businesses.
Yeah, that's facts. That
is so true.
That's facts.
That's so true. Damn, I never thought about it like that. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've coached before, and then there's this thing that happens where if you really love it, like the sport, there's a different appreciation for it in that space. There's like the love becomes the thing that you're sharing with the, you know, whoever you're coaching, and that to me is a place I think I want to explore a little bit more. But there's this notion of like you got to do it when you're either done, like you're completely done, or, you know, it's going to be too hard to balance both if you want to be a coach and an athlete. Like, what does that look like? Being a mentor, being a leader, being in the trenches of like actually going, teaching, building these relationships, building skill, building mindset in these people, whether it's like 2, 5, 6 week program. The goal is still the same. It's just to share as much of the love and the sport as we can through where the people are at the time, right? And so it is a tough notion because you hear it growing up all the time. We used to joke about it all the time. My gym teacher I had all through like high school, all 4 years, Mr. Pelon, and he was like every single year it'd be like that thing, like, oh, some of the kids would be chirping, oh, Pelon, you didn't go deep in football, whatever. Now you're all here, whatever. And we always joke about it. There's like banter, all this kind of stuff, but it's all love, and it's from a place where it's like that's still that stereotype, that nuance of like, no. These people, day in, day out, tried as hard as they possibly could to achieve something that a lot of people aren't chasing. Because at a certain point you realize it's not about the sport anymore. It's like the person you become, how you're showing up, the self-accountability, all these things that you're now applying to your lives and your business that's the birthplace. So that's kind of how I see it. Like it is a tough position to be in, but at the same time, it's all about perception. For me, I've kind of heard that nuance growing up, and so I don't agree with it. My mom's a teacher, but she's also the person that was one of the greatest examples in my life. Right? Like she lived it. Right? So she wasn't teaching from an empty space, and I feel like teachers aren't given the value that they deserve. And because they've actually mastered something, right? And because maybe they're not doing that mastery or practicing that mastery doesn't mean they're not a master. You know what I'm saying?
Teachers and coaches are You're been
Yeah,
Bro, because I've come to the realization that low-key I feel like most, if not all, of like the people who subscribe to that notion of like, oh, you're just doing this because your thing didn't work out or whatever,
right,
are the ones who don't like they're not really like, they don't love for real the thing that they're doing, or like they're not really like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like because I feel like regardless of what it is, like I feel, because I've kind of been in a similar situation where like I've had the opportunity to teach some music. And like I like, even if I'm not explicitly teaching, if you ask me a question about music, I will literally say everything in my mind because just I love music that much. So it's like there's not, for me, from my perspective, there's not, from the teacher's perspective, there's not any like, oh, like I have to, you know what I mean? But then from the other perspective, like I feel like the only time when I would like my younger self would be like, oh, I can't listen to this person because this person is just like a washed up so and so, is because I'm not like that for real.
Yeah.
Or like I'm not into this because like even because if I was to progress to the point where like now I'm seeing the environment differently, then I would have a new appreciation for like those people who are imparting knowledge to me. I'll be like, oh, nah, I see it. This computes now, you know what I mean?
right.
Like you know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
yeah, perception. It's literally perception, which is crazy.
And the crazy thing of just playing off of that idea right there, the wildest thing about that is that you get to a certain point where you can communicate, you can joke, you can gesture, you live on this level that when someone else is on that level you relate to in that way, bro, every level that you've ever taken to just get to that point, have that experience, that moment with somebody is different. Right? It's like, it's the same thing as someone saying, they're telling you about your day, whatever, and they pause and you wait and you're like, how are you? You know what I mean? Like, and you pause. It has that same effect. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's that energy. And it's so...
Yeah, like when you just stop to think about like how you're doing, kind of thing.
Yeah, instead of just like
the question you're asking or the conversation you're having is like actually genuine rather than just like, oh yeah, so whatever.
Exactly.
And obviously you guys have started your own businesses, yes? So I want to ask, when was it that you actually decided to, because this is not no small thing. Let's not pretend like this is a small thing, starting your business. Okay?
Yeah.
So when was it that you guys decided that, okay, like I actually want to start my own business and like this is something that I want to go into specifically?
Man, it was so organic actually. It just like,
I mean, last year, like I made the account, and then just kind of started posting stuff for fun, kind of thing. It's like the stuff I was learning, I'd throw it out there, and like it's kind of a fun, just like, I guess, hobby project on the side. Didn't really take it too seriously and kind of dropped it for a while. And then I think like you were almost getting into the like online space of starting a business, getting a bit more entrepreneurial. And he was like kind of checking out some like agency stuff, some digital marketing stuff. And I thought that was really intriguing. And I thought this could maybe pivot into that account and like grow that a little bit. So I kind of started doing that. And I don't know, he was kind of almost looking for a niche to create this entrepreneurial endeavor, I guess you could say. And then everything just, like, it almost felt like work, you would say, no matter like what niche you pivot into. And like, it wasn't until you kind of get back to your roots of track of something that you're really, really passionate about, where you realize that this doesn't feel like work, and this is actually a passion of mine, and then we can help people that were in a similar situation that we were at the same time. Then it kind of just like, yeah, snowballed into this, and we just decided to put more effort into it and actually take it seriously. That was honestly like 2-3 months ago.
Yeah, it was a long.
Dang.
Taking it really serious because like he would post every now and then on the account, and then I was thinking of doing just like general online personal training, kind of like my brother was doing for a while, and then I was like, yeah, this is cool and all, but like, I don't know. I saw like the sports stuff he was doing, and I was just like, we would always do like athletic type workouts together, and I just like learning and talking about that stuff a lot more than just like anything else. So then I started posting on that account again, and then we started getting like a good, like, not a lot of followers, but like good for us. Yeah. A good amount of followers for us. And then we're like, man, this is so cool. This is so fun. And people make comments on our posts like, wow, you guys do so much value, all that. And then we kind of just like decided one day, just like, yeah, let's just do this together.
Nice.
That's fine. Exactly what you're saying with the music too. Like people up in like the DMs and like, oh, this video, what does this mean? Or like, you gotta get exercise for this, or I'm hurt, like what should I do? And we'll just like breaks, and everyone's like, oh my god, like I appreciate you guys so much. But it's like,
Wow.
that's a conversation we'd love to have, and I honestly love diving into people's unique situations. And like we'll try and like we have like a funnel of people hopping on video calls
Wow.
to get clients, but in general it's like, if you want to come hop on a 30-minute call with us, like just to chat about your situation, I want to learn about your sport, I want to like provide value to you. Like it doesn't have to be a sales call or anything. I just want to like talk about it honestly. I find it so engaging.
That's fine.
And don't get me, like what you said before about like everything felt like work. It's like it is work, and like every endeavor you have, there's always a part of it where it's like, oh, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But it stops feeling like work when it's something you're genuinely interested in. It's like, you don't just work like a typical 9 to 5 and you have no interest in what you're doing. It's like the whole day just feels crappy. You feel entirely like work.
Yeah.
But it's like if you do a 9 to 5 that you absolutely love, then it's like, yeah, it's still work, but like this is genuinely a hobby of mine.
Right.
And then, yeah, because like when we were kind of like training ourselves over COVID, we wanted to find as much like training resources as we could. But we found it was super hard to find online, and people would be like upset about it, like buy this program, whatever. Yeah. So, like once we stopped doing track, we kind of came to that realization where it's like, we just want to give as much free value as possible. And then obviously we have paid stuff too, but it's like our free stuff is our paid stuff. Just we put it together for you in easier to digest format.
Honestly, like when we were having that conversation with people that are actually passionate about what they do, I find like there's a lot of people online when we were doing our research over COVID or whatever that are just really good at selling the dream, where it's like, this is what you need. This is something new that you've never seen before, and this could be what you need. And then we just bought into it like a few times, and you learn more, and you're like, oh, there's really no evidence behind that. And the real coaches that are reputable that you, I think, really should be listening to, that we took a lot of influence from, would be giving out that value almost for free. And you can just tell they're so passionate with the sport in general. It's night and day once you can kind of like filter through that. You can take a lot of inspiration from that. That's the coach that I want to be, and that's the coach that we've been. Yeah.
Wow. So like for the viewers, obviously you guys are personal trainers, but like, so specifically like on social and stuff, what kind of stuff do you guys post? Like you guys are just talking about like providing the most value possible, but like, so like, do you guys mostly post about like track and field stuff, or like what specifically are you trying to target?
Oh, that I like that question.
It's something that we discussed so much too.
Yeah. At first, we definitely started, like, if you go way back, like, it starts with track, and then it transitioned into, like, a bit of, like, vertical jump, like, basketball and, like, track and stuff. But then
Fire.
I think we realized for us is, like, if you look at track athletes, like, they're probably the most athletic people in the world, right? Like, raw athleticism.
Yeah.
I would say anyways, like as far as like sprint speed goes and like jump, and I mean for their body weight, they're pretty damn strong too.
Yeah.
So our whole thing is kind of like bring a bit of track and field into the sports world, because I feel like a lot of team sports, like they don't do a lot of like they do a lot of just like weightlifting, conditioning, a lot of that stuff. So we wanted to bring in like, okay, train speed, like do a lot of jumps, plyometrics, just like lift smart, and heavy lifting isn't the main thing. So if you go to our page, a lot of it is like track and field biased, but we're not solely looking for track and field athletes. We're looking for like everything. You think doing some sort of track and field training can help every single athlete?
Yeah, like I think track and field training is the king for speed and power development, and that's usually what would take like a average athlete and move the needle in their game in general. Like you can work on the sport specific stuff all you want, but I mean, as a football player, if you're running like a 5-5 as a skill position, it's gonna be tough to break into the next level. But I think, and then that's also kind of the most like misconstrued training methodology. Like no one really knows how to optimally train speed and power. So it's like we're not saying hop on the track like 7 days a week and train exactly like a track athlete, but here's how you can incorporate some of the track principles into your training to move your athleticism in the right direction as you get better at your sport. I'd say like that's probably what our account is targeted to, or that's what our niche is.
Yeah, that's what I kind of morphed into over time.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think I'm serious. No,
Fire.
No, I was just listening.
Bro, he had a straight face when he said that too.
I was just no, I was actually just listening, and I know of this is very much you're onto something that's already started.
Yep.
But you're onto something. The way that you're doing it hasn't been done before, and I know that because I'm in a space where I do know individuals who, can come in and work with the team, and they're flying out to Europe to work with one of some of the teams there, like Chelsea, or that's the kind of scope, and their philosophy is we need to be incorporating some of the specific needs needed for team athletes individually. And what you guys are targeting, I think, will help to solve that. If everyone is fit, like fundamentally fit and healthy and focused on well-being, there's no reason why we can't have an revolutionary change within our sports in the next, decade or two. Like goals being scored, NBA shots being put up, like like I'm talking where we have the most knowledge, we have the technology, and we have people like you guys who are actually putting your content in a place where it's accessible, it's free at the same time. Yeah, if you want to put it together, here, just pay it that's brilliant to me.
Bro, and you know what's crazy too? This just came full circle in my mind.
Yeah.
Is the fact that, because you just said that, the revolution thing, and I was like, because I realized that when like if the basis for everything is just your athletic ability, especially if we're talking about like team sports and whatnot, like as athletic ability goes up, then IQ goes up too, because it's like as soon as you get the fundamentals out the way, so like if you have a team sport, let's say, and then like your weakest link or like something that you have to focus on is the fact that like some of your team isn't fast, or like some of your team isn't whatever, like you have to target that, right? But once you get that out the way and everyone's like elite, now you can like focus on the IQ element of whatever you're doing. Which is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, because, and the only reason I thought of that is because I saw a video the other day, and this was talking about actors.
Right.
Where, who was it? I think it was Leonardo DiCaprio was like, he was giving advice to like new actors or whatever, and he was saying, my advice is to learn your lines. And it like sounded trivial, but then he explained, he's like, get your lines out the way, because if you have your lines down and you don't have to worry about it, now you can worry about like all the other creative elements, you know what I mean? And now you can really make art, because you're like,
completely different game when you bring your speed and your athleticism up to that certain level. But
that's crazy. That's insane.
That like prerequisite of athleticism that you need to play the game out of the way, that's not holding you back. It's not a barrier anymore, and you can just focus on. That's
crazy, bro.
That's a really good idea.
Like, bro, like, because imagine if you have like a team, bro, is all IQ now. Bro. And they're all elites, bro.
That's so disgusting. Yeah, bro.
That's
you guys
so
about
crazy.
to change the game.
That's so crazy.
Wow.
And it's like when you work on your skill work and your IQ work and all that, it's like the training you do for it is like skill work usually isn't like high intensity work. Like if you're a basketball player, you go and shoot hoops, or you just go and like put a bunch of jump shots. Like that's not overly taxing. So it's like you can do that while you're still doing this like speed and power training, because that's high intensity work. So it's like, okay, just supplement that in with your skill work. It doesn't take like 7 day a week commitment to get like faster and more powerful. I don't think.
Crazy.
Wow.
So it's not like you have to choose between either one, you know?
Yeah.
It only had us so much in a given week too. But I don't know. That's where I feel like that collaboration needs to come in versus like the guy who knows is the X's and O's of the game super well versus the speed coach. Like they need to collaborate and make that weekly plan to get off season.
Right,
So still
right.
skill work, but when he's fresh, he's working on his speed, his athleticism, his vertical jump.
So, question here. In a week to week, you guys have been like working with clients, all this kind of thing. And what's been like the most eye-opening thing as track athletes that you've noticed now that you've crossed over with different sports?
Actually,
That's a good first.
for me, actually, it's been how, like, when I've talked to a few clients, like, before we actually sell them, like, in kind of, like, the selling process,
Yeah.
we kind of talk about, like, how, like, yeah, our training is biased towards, like, track athletes just because, like, for what I said earlier, like, I believe track athletes are, like, really freaking athletic, so it's, like, I think they're the most athletic when it comes to just, like, speed and power, so I'm like, well, I think training like them could help, and I've seen other people kind of do that, too.
Yeah.
And what surprised me is how, like, on board they are with it. They're like, yeah, I 100% agree. Like, let's go. It took, like, no convincing.
Wow.
Okay, so maybe people are, like, kind of onto this.
Yeah. Or like it makes sense when you explain it. They're like, oh yeah. Yeah.
That means the need for what
Is
you guys
there,
are doing
bro.
Yeah, I mean, I know it. Yeah, it's just like, you start doing
Yeah, it didn't seem like it was going to be that easy to sell, but literally just organically talk about what we preach on the Instagram or just in general. And yeah, they're really, really receptive to it.
Yeah.
I think for me too, I don't know, I kind of had an idea that this was going to be the case, but even a couple of football players that we work with, like the lack of resources they have. And I mean, small town Kentucky would be pretty comparable to Saskatchewan. Not a lot of resources out there.
Right.
But good schools, they would get their off-season plans and he would kind of discuss it with us. And they're still just getting like the typical conditioning, standard weight program, nothing new. I don't know, not that you have to be like cutting edge or anything, but just, I don't know, it's the old school mentality of just jog and throw some weights around in the off season, then show up for.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think we have like off season it's such an important time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's
For
really the only time
Can-
you can move your athleticism in the right direction.
Can we actually talk about the off season real quick? Can you guys dive into that real quick? Like, just explain the importance of off season, what that time is actually for. and
J.
how you-
Cole
and how
off
you can-
season,
how you
baby.
can maximize that. Yes.
Well, I think season for most sports is when you're getting better at like the game itself, you know?
Yeah.
It's like in a football season, a basketball season, it's like in the off season you're probably not playing a lot of football games, like actual basketball games. Like you might play 3-on-3 with your buddies or something, that's completely different. So you're getting better at like the IQ and the skill part of it. And because of the games and the practices, like you're practicing and playing games like probably like 6 days a week altogether. It's like those are all pretty high intensity, so it's so hard to do high intensity athleticism work. So it's like when you have a break from that stuff in the off season, I think that's when you go hard on the athleticism stuff, and that's when you can move the needle.
Yeah. That's when, I don't know, I think that's where like we intertwine the track culture too. I mean, anyone who's a track athlete knows it's like 12 months out of the year. And for a track athlete, this season looks like you're preparing, you're getting faster, you're working on maybe the technical side or just like in general, raw top speed, raw acceleration. And you move closer to the track season, you might be working on more qualities like speed endurance or race modeling. Versus like you can do the same thing as a football player. You can take advantage of that off-season time and move your top speed and your acceleration in the right direction. And then, yeah, like you said, you're getting better at the actual game when the season comes around. But I don't think like other sports are used to not taking advantage of that time, whereas like the preparation of track is like next to nothing. So
Wow.
we incorporate that culture of like moving the speed in the right direction in the off season.
Yeah, and you get more conditioned in season you guys are playing the games.
Exactly.
Just sprinting up and down the court in the field anyways.
Exactly.
So what I'm hearing is
So interesting.
What I'm hearing is there is no off day, brother. There is no
Facts.
I didn't hear an off day. Off season sounds like I gotta get ready to manage the load that I want to be at for the next season. Sounds like the foundation being built. So
That's so interesting. I never thought about that though.
right,
Of like your off season, you can, like, I mean, I guess you guys just talked about it a little bit, but like that whole idea of like you can move things around to like maybe you want to target endurance in a certain portion of the off season so that you can focus on something else after or whatever. That's so interesting because like how does that affect your performance when the season pulls up if like right before the season starts the last thing you were doing was endurance versus like power or something?
it makes
what
a
I mean?
difference. Yeah,
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like in most sports too, as the season goes on, like in basketball and maybe football, depending on your position, it's like you're not doing enough like speed and power work in the season generally. So chances are like those measures after the season or in the season will be a little bit worse than before the season, just because you're not doing that type of training anymore. So it's like if we are expecting them to get worse, then you want that starting level to be pretty damn high. But ideally, it's like you're microdosing some of that work just enough so that it'll at least stay the same in the season.
Yeah, ideally. That's
So-
an interesting idea too. Even like incorporating that like enough stimulus of the top speed and the acceleration work in your season. It doesn't have to be like it can be once a week, honestly. But you're touching and you try and keep that at like the baseline that you came in of a certain level of top speed throughout the season, just to try and maintain those qualities. Because like typically a season you get into film, like I could take football for example. Like film practices, you're drilling in new plays all the time. Games,
Yeah.
like it's a lot of cardio and condition, honestly. It
Yeah.
ends up being, and you can get those qualities detrained so fast.
Yep. I'm a share this story. Shame on me. Shame. It's true. There's certain muscles, just if you take your muscles and you don't work out a specific area of your body for about 6 weeks, and you come back, it might feel a little bit different, a little bit more uncomfortable than you normally. I came back in the gym. I had a supine lifts, sort of like with the kettlebell on my leg, and I was like, is this the right kettlebell?
I don't remember it being this heavy, dog.
Bro, I was like, this can't be the pink kettlebell. I lifted 6 weeks. Nah, like this is in base season. But it's crazy because I PB'd, but it felt worse.
That's crazy.
Right?
Yeah, that is.
Right? So like I repped more for the session than I normally would than I did before. But like just the sheer, this is heavier than I thought it was. I was like, damn. Right? So that is so true because I'm like, this can't happen again. I was like, Coach, we gotta leave this in the program. This has got to stay, right? This is not gonna hurt like this again. No, right? But like that's another part. I share that story because in the end, I said I need to keep this here, right? And that's what it is. It's that off-season work of like keeping it there, so that you actually adapt long term, so that becomes a normal. Right now, when I lift, maybe I need to go up in kettlebell weight eventually. Right, like that's the thinking that you guys are implementing, which I think is so important. That you guys are doing this and occupying this space. I honestly, guys, this is the first time we've actually talked about what they're doing for like ever. This is live happening right now. So I'm just kind of taken aback at the depth that you guys are coming at it with. Right? Like what did you guys research and like look into? What did you guys find out when you had to coach yourselves?
Oh, like where did we turn to kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, it definitely started in COVID. I think that's when we started getting into it. There was this guy on Instagram that we used to watch a lot, Adonis Harrison, but he's more of like a post videos kind of guy. He doesn't have a ton of resources, and I started buying books about it, which we both had. It's called Speed Strength by Joel Smith. Yeah, so we started reading that book. Just like not including just like YouTube videos we saw, just like YouTube videos, but then
YouTube is accredited.
Do you know what this is, Vaughn? like the track.
Altus? Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Like a short sprints thing. And then, you know Dan Path?
Don't
He's like
say
the
that.
oldest pretty much.
Okay, yeah.
Like he mentored a coach that we like to listen to a lot, Bruce Exnader.
Yeah.
That's definitely like our go-to.
Well, I actually met to Les Spellman too.
Yeah, let's
He is there. He's definitely one of the goats there.
Yeah.
As far as like performance, I don't know if you know PJF performances, but more of a basketball guy, but he's like got a crazy amount of research that he goes through. He's a really good resource too.
Gotcha.
So books and online courses are the ones that we turn to the most, actually. Besides just like our actual track and field experience,
Yeah.
those ones we turn
Yeah,
to the most.
it's always, I mean, like, I don't know, flipping like the age of the internet where like people like that can get their courses out and make a course for you. But like, it's always the practitioners that have athletes and they're currently training and testing new things that you learn the most from. It's not like, I don't know, like a typical textbook. I don't think you'd learn quite as much as actually following a coach and him like giving live feedback of what he's doing with his team and what's working for them.
I very much appreciate what you guys just mentioned at the end there, because it's not only true, but it's understated. How experience can be one of the best teachers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? Right? Like, honestly, like, it's just like the traditional way of how, for example, we view resumes. I mean, it doesn't tell you anything about the person, right? It tells you what we've done. And so a part of even just us making reality check, we wanted to have a conversation that went beyond the scope of just like our own achievements. But what you guys have actually done is, like, through your experiences, built yourselves. And I can so see that, like, I know these men's, right?
Yeah.
And they've grown.
Yeah.
Right? You guys have grown, and I can see that. And so that comes with experience and knowledge and wisdom, applying that knowledge. And it sounds like you guys have put it to the test, and you guys are now like reaping the benefits of it. So just real quickly, tell the people then where you're supposed to go to find you, because obviously these guys are, you know, Dawson and Jonah, they're great people. They have great hearts, and obviously for me personally, it's intent, and their intention is pure. It's there. So go support, man. Where they gonna find you?
Shameless plug time.
Shameless.
So Instagram is definitely the main one. Meta Athletic Development. We post a bit on the YouTube, Meta Athletics, Facebook Meta Athletics, TikTok a little bit.
Yeah, and then metathletics.ca.
Yeah.
It's got all the specials linked at the top, and then you can learn more about our story there.
You gotta find it.
And honestly, book a call if you want to just like chop it up and chat about your sport, speed development in general.
Hey, I might
It's open.
chop it up with y'all, you know, because
because I'm in a men's league for basketball and I need my vert up there, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I just started dunking again, bro. And one of my teammates is just windmilling, bro. I'm like, nah, I have to get like you.
wow,
Bro.
wow, yeah,
We have
no,
questions for you.
yeah. What's up?
Okay, so our whole thing right now is Meta Athletics. What's your guys' goals? Whether it's like with reality check or personally outside of reality check, what's like your guys' main focus right now, either individually or as a group?
You want to take that?
There's a lot.
There's a lot, bro. You know, man just said everything.
See, I'm
Who's at the experimentation phase?
I'm literally infamously known like throughout my entire life as like the jack of all trades. I just do too many things. Anyways,
It's fact.
but like for us, we kind of combine like two different spheres, and then that's kind of where reality check came from. So obviously the track athlete over here, businessman over here, and then I'm the music side and creative, and then we kind of merge those, and then reality check is like basically just life and anything that intersects anything in between, and everything and anything in between. So I mean, you can speak to your personal goals and such, but my personal goals, I graduated from design school. So one of my goals is to start a business. Well, I have started a business, but scale the business in design. So to scale up the company, and then also on the music side, obviously grow my brand and everything like that. Start doing more shows. I actually started doing shows this year.
Mad shows, like
starting to pop off, bro. Got a couple songs on the radio since the start of this year too. So things be popping off and all that. So modest. Pardon?
Tell us more about the design business.
Yeah, so I do. So my actual degree was in product design, which kind of people who know product design will kind of know what I mean by, like, it kind of includes everything, like any because there's a lot of different departments in design. So you can have graphic design, product, interior, you like sewing is involved in all that stuff, because you're basically, it's exactly how it sounds, like you're making products, and that sounds really vague, but like it is very vague, because like you can almost design anything. Like I honestly believe that in my course that I went to, we call it boot camp, because it was like ridiculous, like it was like a 6-year course crammed into 4 years. So it was just like projects on projects. We're at school for like 15 hours a day, like it's ridiculous. But like the way that they teach you is basically to throw you in the deep end, and you kind of figure it out, and then they'll kind of just be there to catch you if you overwhelm yourself. But like you like the basis of design is basically like almost every project starts like this, where it's like whatever project you're doing, you first have to become an expert in that field and then go make the product, basically. So in terms of product design, that side of my business, I've had a few clients where I've made designs for them, and like from scratch, where it's like we're coming up with an idea and then we take it to market. And then on the graphic side, that's more kind of involved in everything I do, to be honest, because even music, I use my graphic design skills to like even make my like album art and stuff like that, and like any promotional material that I need. So the graphic design element is used very frequently, actually, both for myself and like for other people as well. So yeah.
Basically, you say, sorry, so you starting the business of the design, obviously you said you kind of need to become an expert at that specific project before you can create the product.
Yeah, I mean, expert, but yeah.
So like, what does that process look like for you? Like deep diving, like say doing some consulting work for someone in a completely different field, you just completely dive into that. And
like completely dive in, and then so there's a bunch of stages, but like it basically goes research, then first initial concepts, then you'll come up with like some prototype, depending if it's a service or a physical product, you'll come up with prototypes or like general concepts of how it's supposed to work. And then generally the middle stages is like the prototyping back to like conceptualization. You'll like go back and forth, because you realize that something's not going to work, then you go back to conceptualization, then make it, and you're like, that's not gonna. So you like go back and forth until something works, and then you'll go a little bit further into like market testing, basically, or like user testing is called, where you get whatever group of people, whatever sample group that you can get your hands on, and then test it to see what works, what doesn't, and then you go back to the prototyping, and then like, so the whole process is kind of like back and forth until you find something that really works, and then it's kind of the end stages. But to answer your question, the research part is really like a large chunk of most of the project, because it's like you do initial so like even the research is broken up into stages too, because it's like there's initial research where you just kind of like read up about a bunch of stuff so you can get generally acquainted with whatever you're doing. But then like the most, I would say the most value comes from when you get to the stage in research where you're asking stakeholders about questions. So for example, in school we did a project about we made a hyperbaric chamber for mountain climbers. which is basically it's a device that simulates a descent when you go down the mountain, because if you're going up a mountain too fast, then it can provide some issues. You can get nausea, headaches, all that. So basically descending off the mountain will alleviate those conditions, but then we have a device that basically you go inside the chamber and then it will simulate that descent because it's a pressurized tank. Obviously we knew nothing about that, so we spent a lot of weeks researching first, and because that was a medical device, damn near, basically we had to like be very specific about things so that we don't kill people. You
That's
know what I mean?
wild.
So like you have to first go really deep onto like the technical aspects, but then we spent a long time like speaking with other professionals that are in that field as well. So like people who are in inflatables, people who are in pressurized systems. We talked to doctors, we talked to like scientists, and like basically got as much knowledge as possible from like the professionals, and they're called stakeholders. And then we use that in our concepts to say, and then we come up with a list of like things that are non-negotiable, like these have to be in the design or else like things are gonna be wrong. And then you also have a different list of things that is like, okay, what do we want to innovate, or like these are the things that we would like to improve upon. And then the whole rest of the process is kind of trying to combine those things into something that would work based on the specifications you have. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
That's actually insane. I didn't know you were doing all that.
Oh yeah, no.
Bear.
Oh no, yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. And to be honest, like that's funny. To be honest, a big part of like the later stage as well, in terms of like once you have the product and now you're trying to pitch it.
Yeah.
A big part of even just like in the school context of just like doing a presentation on whatever you did a project on, is taking very technical information and trying to translate it for an audience who knows nothing about what you're talking about, but then at the same time not translating it too loosely to the point where now it doesn't look like you don't know what you're talking about. So like the balance is like very thin.
Bro.
You know what I mean?
Even social media is using social media.
Yeah.
Just stupid so people can understand, but making it
stupid. So stupid where people are like, this guy's really stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's very
Wow. Dude.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
Yeah, I actually had a teacher who marked us on that, actually. Yeah.
So y'all remember there was a point in Reality Check where Sam was saying that he wants to be known as a creator, like someone who creates, but now that comes full circle to this moment when man's created a barometric chamber?
Hyperbaric chamber. Yeah.
Hyperbaric chamber.
Yeah.
Can't even say it with my Jamaican tongues.
Yeah.
But that's mad.
Yeah, that was what was that? Our third year project, and that took like 8 weeks. Yeah.
Just.
Oh yeah, it was, and we disappeared off the face of the earth when we were doing that. Like,
You'd have to,
bro. There was like a room, because we have a building just for the design department at my school, but then there was a room on the 4th floor, I think, that was just for our project, or like it was like a room that was just for like specific things or whatever.
Yeah,
we hogged that room. We stored all our stuff in there. We were in there day and night. We were in there, like the security guards would let us in the building because we were the first ones there, and then they would kick us out.
Wow.
Because we're trying to stay there. So bro, that project was mad, bro. Mad.
Well,
That project was mad.
that's insane. Congratulations, because I
Yeah.
know that
Yeah.
wasn't easy.
Yeah.
That was not easy.
It was sick though.
So many people quit. I remember you telling me.
Oh, like in the not in the project, but in the
process.
course.
Yeah,
the course. Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And a couple times we met, like leading up to this podcast and in this podcast, We never asked you about track at all.
That's crazy.
That's the elephant in the room. What's the goal, the ambition, the plan, the vision?
It's a good question. So, I've been training. It's been going well.
To put it lightly.
No, well, okay. I'll put it like this. I'll be racing in July. I have had one race this season, and I ran somewhat similar to how I opened last year. But my goals this year is to really PB. I'm going to be running maybe a 4, a couple 4s, and an 8. 8s here and there, not 8s, more 8s than 4s. But
for the people at home, that's 400 meter and 800 meter.
That's facts.
Yeah.
The lingo. Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you. So that's what I'm thinking of until nationals. So I have like maybe 4 more races. But I'm in a position where I've been the most consistent training probably ever.
Damn.
Like I've maybe missed, and I haven't told this to anybody. Hey y'all, look, here you go. But yeah, I literally have missed maybe a cumulative of 3 days this entire season, and maybe because that was when I was sick. Like, and I've had pain. Don't mind you. That it's just that the level of which the environment that I'm in, you either show up or you don't. I guess it's like it's straight like that. So where my vision is right now, it's like just staying in that environment as long as I can, because I'm facing the parts of the athlete life where it's like you could walk away, right? You could walk away, and so many opportunities come up, so many different distractions, everything. But at the end of the day, I've told myself that, look, I stay in this environment for, 2, 3, 4, 8, I don't know, however many years the Lord gives me my legs, right? And I can breathe, then I know I'll get better. So there's a certain amount of time before we know we can't do anymore. Physically, that happens. It will happen. But for now, I don't feel anywhere close to that. So how can I push myself in a way where I can maximize what I think my body can do and stay on the course no matter how hard it might be to get there?
Okay.
Also, I need to cut this guy off just to paint out the picture. We went on a trip together, and this guy, like, literally one of the first things out this guy's mind, while we're all out there like planning like the activities, like, oh, this guy's like, is there a space for me to run? I was like, Vaughn, bro.
He's asking the right question.
This guy.
I had a long run the next day. I didn't make sure, but yeah.
What do you think's overall your best event?
Woo! Woo!
Talk to him.
We're gonna get into this one.
Talk to him.
Sheesh.
Talk to him.
I could blast a 200 right now.
Follow-up question. We need to answer that one.
Bro, a few years ago, I ran a 22-1. And that was like first year out of this was like first year of university. And I PB'd without any speed training that year because I was running like 6s and 8s. So thank the Lord, I've been able to actually increase my endurance and keep my speed. So running a 2 right now would be like nutty because I don't think I'd ever fall off. Like, that's how I feel about a 4 right now because of my 800 training.
Damn.
Oh, okay. We get 400 to straight sprint for you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Probably, like, potential-wise.
Yeah, I'm actually like, I'm very excited to run a 4 this year. Like,
because you're just so like...
Yeah, just to like see, I'm just literally going to sprint. I just want to see if the wheels fall off. And if they don't, then I'm running fast. So,
bro, this is a perfect segue to a question I had earlier, actually, because we were talking about mindset and we're also talking about goals and such like that. And this is kind of just a random thought that I had, but like, because we were also talking about experience and like the importance of like teaching from experience or like going off of experience. What do y'all think about, and this is a question for all three of y'all, what do y'all think about like training for a specific goal versus just training to basically PB, or like training to just like beat yourself versus training for like a specific goal? Because like I feel like from my personal experience, when I was playing basketball in high school, there was a year where in grade 9 there was like A team and B team, which is like the elite team and then like the okay team or whatever. So grade 8 I made A team, grade 9 I got cut. So then the summer of grade 9 I literally trained my ass off. And then the when basketball season started in grade 10, I was like, oh, the hoops look lower right now. You know what I mean? I was just like it was ridiculous. Like I was, and then my coach was like, literally, you're the first, like you're beating everyone on suicides. Like I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that was my experience of just like trying to like not really training for a goal necessarily, but I was just like PBing the whole summer. But then the reason I asked this question is because like we were talking about during the season earlier, when you have the season, then I think naturally then your mind kind of goes to like goals, because now you're thinking of like, okay, we gotta win the next game, or like now we're thinking about playoffs or whatever. So like you're thinking of like incremental goals now instead of like PBing really. And I do think that like training for goals is important, but I was just curious about like that like dynamic. I don't know.
It's a phenomenal question, by the way.
Yeah. You guys,
we asked the right questions over here, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I actually think the older I've gotten, the more I realize how important it is to focus on like the day by day goals rather than the end goal. I've noticed like when you're so hyper focused on the end goal, you're almost like subconsciously telling yourself that you're unhappy until you get that goal.
Damn.
Every day you live in almost like anxiety of whether or not you're going to hit that goal. And it's like, if you hit it, sure, but then it's almost just like a relief rather than like, oh, hell yeah. But then if you don't get it, it's like you're miserable the whole way and you're miserable in the end.
Damn.
If you live day by day and just focus on like winning the day almost, it's like, if you win that day, then it's like, hell yeah, you're pumped every day and you're just like motivated every day. And if you win every day, chances are you'll probably hit that goal at the end anyways. So it's nice to like have that goal as a general direction, but not be hyper focused on it. Which,
Damn. As a general direction, that's a phenomenal way to put it. As a general direction. That's tough.
You hit the nail on the head. Square on the head. Square. Because I was gonna say, like, just to add and build to that, absolutely. Like, for me, the goal is PB. That's like overarching. And that's the mentality that behind that is I gotta be 1% better than I am, which is exactly what you're saying. It's like, instead of focusing, all right, one of my good friends, shout out Egidio, like we raced against each other, did all like competed against each other since we were like 11, yeah. But man was saying to me, like asking me a question like, oh, what's your goal for truck? And one of the things I mentioned to him was, look, I'm at a point right now where I want to be able to not only sprint in my career and run in my career and have a great career and have a successful career, whatever that is for me, right? I want to be able to leave the sport and be such a force of nature physically, continuing to build on what I've created with physically, and in a place where mobility, my body doesn't hurt when I bend down to pick something up. I can throw my kids around. I can learn how to fight, and then my bones aren't like, I don't have osteoporosis. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is
If you have kids, kind of thing. Show your kids how it's done.
Exactly.
Nice.
I want to be able to live a life where I'm still an athlete for the rest of my life.
100%.
Mike Tyson.
So that's where my mind's at. And then, if we can accelerate that by being around people and being around you guys who are taking it upon yourselves to, do your research and teach from a place of great intention, but also knowledge and wisdom and experience, then sky's the limit, right? Like, well, sky's just the starting point, really.
Yeah.
Right? So at that level, like, who's gonna stop you? That line.
It's you. It's yourself, really.
That line was crazy. Sky's the starting point. Get out of here. That's crazy. That's great.
So,
oh my.
do you have the Olympics in your mind? Is that something you think about? Yeah. It's just like that's kind of.
Yeah, it is.
Tell us a bit about it.
So, about the Olympics or it being on my mind? Well, it's coming up, that's for sure. Right? And so time is one of those things where I'm looking at this season as putting myself in a position to strike for next season. And so if I can do that, that's kind of what I'm focused on in terms of a goal. And that means I know the times I'm capable of running. And right now, a lot of what people have seen is me trying to refine something that I know will turn into gold, but I just have to keep going. And it's up to me to believe that. And so I'm just doing the work. And if the times don't necessarily fall the way I want them, it's also knowing that, like, I know, right? So, like, putting that all in together execution wise, on the day, those are key pieces. Running and training at a level where I'm seeing where I can increase those little small gaps. At the end of the day, 2024 is a year where I'm like, it's sort of locked in. Like, from end of this season going into off season, it's just like, all right, let's build this out. Like, I never was expecting to, like, do a race, and I even skipped indoor season this year, right? And so, yeah. I trained straight through it, and it's one of the best decisions I think I've made so far in terms of training.
Won one championship and got the hell out of there, eh?
Man said I retired while I was up.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, crazy. I might go back to youth sport potentially, which might not be what a lot of people want to hear, or maybe some people want to hear, but for some people, they really want to hear that. I gotta see some friends. I gotta, youth sport is one of those things where, like, people don't realize in the sport of track that we really bond like that. Like, we see each other, at nationals, we see each other at provincials, we see each other. But these meets growing up, we kind of took them for granted in the sense of, like, now we might not see somebody, or somebody in the group isn't around, or they're not in the sport anymore, and it's just like completely different.
It's crazy.
So just even the social aspect, I think I'll tap in at some point. But for now, I'm just kind of like trying to get better. Off the track, I'm really obviously with Sam and how we met. Going back to that, it was a lot similar to what how you guys thought of and kind of came together. We were talking, and then we're just like sharing what we thought would be a vision that we'd like to see, and it was like same. And and then so we kept going, and it's everything so far. I mean, has, for more often than not, it's like we're already there, already thinking about those things. And then the timing of where we get to positions has been so scarily, phenomenally, like, on time, for the progressions that we've taken throughout, our friendship, our partnership, and ultimately Reality Check has been a production of that. But we didn't even think this was gonna happen, bro. Like, we've known each other since we were kids,
Facts.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Yeah.
we were like not. We grew up like, you know, we met as kids, and then we grew up separately, and it's always crazy how, you know, we're sitting beside each other, you know, almost like a year into doing this, and in a position where we're talking to you guys, who's going to be providing so much value to other people. Like, it's just like one without the other, chicken or the egg, which one comes first, right? It's
Crazy.
like,
Crazy.
you know,
That always like baffles me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I was like I can't remember when we started just reconnecting, because it just happened randomly, and then because everyone who knows me knows that like I've been wanting to start a podcast from time.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of logistics that weren't lining up, or like I was just trying to find like the right person to do it with, because I feel like a lot of people just like aren't like
and can I say too,
thinking like that. Yeah.
our story in that sense is the same. Like, we both had opportunities to do podcasts, and just like either just never worked out. So like, same thing. Go ahead. I just wanted to put that in.
Ridiculous. Yeah. But then, yeah, as he said, like, I think I can't remember when it was, but like just one day we were talking about, like I was trying to start a podcast or whatever, and then he's like, same, and I was like, oh, what? And then and then I was like, oh, like I was trying to start one, but like I just never like had somebody like that was like the way that they think is like questions and like philosophical kind of. And then like literally as I said that, I was like, wait. Yeah, literally it was literally like that.
Yeah.
But I have a question for y'all though that I didn't ask earlier, more on, because I love asking questions like specifically like logistics questions. So like, for you were talking earlier about how you really are inspired by people who just give value for free, basically. But then like I'm sure that the fear behind why so many other people like gatekeep secrets and stuff is because they think that they need something to be able to sell. So obviously they're gonna hold their secrets so that you can go buy whatever it is, and then the information is in there. So like, logistically speaking, what is your guys setup in terms of like, because you have packages that you sell to clients or whatever. So like, logistically speaking, like what's kind of like the, I don't know if you want to call it a ratio, but like how do you set it up in terms of like on social, how much you give away for free, or like if you just like completely freely give information, and then what's included in the paid stuff?
Okay, I really like that question.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's tough. It's not like track is such an interesting sport that way, or speed development in general is such an interesting topic where like there's no secret sauce, there's no secret formula kind of thing. It's really people diving into the weeds of it, understanding it more, and then being able to communicate that in a way and program in a way that you can get more athletes developed. So, I mean, it's super polarizing too on social media, where you'll see like little things that are partial truths, or people jumping conclusions, or like little bits and pieces where, I don't know, you can almost give everything away and you still need that really good coach to walk you through it and piece all of that together for you. So I honestly think we just provide as much value as we possibly can, and it's never going to be a point where you put out too much and we're like, oh, I can grab this and I can run with it, and then no, I don't. Like, you always need someone, a really good coach who really understands the sport, to dispel misconceptions or walk you through it or build your plan or go into the nuances of your specific sport or your situation. And yeah, I don't know, there's just so much to it that I don't think you can give out too much value. That's my opinion anyway.
And like, obviously, because we haven't been making videos for long enough. Like, we've only been doing this for so much time. It's like you'll find some stuff in our training that isn't on social media yet. They'll like give us a year or whatever, year or two, and it's like everything you see in our paid stuff will be on our social media for free. It's just like, as far as like how to structure your workouts, like how to do a certain workout, how to do a certain exercise, like what exercise to do, whatever. So like, hypothetically, like 2 years from now, you go on our paid program and nothing would surprise. If you follow our Instagram, nothing would surprise you. It's just like, essentially all you're paying for really is convenience. You don't have to go through our Instagram page and think, oh, he said this in this video, this in this video, I'm gonna put these together. And in the paid stuff, on Instagram, you only have like 60 seconds to make a video. You only get so much across. Whereas
Right.
our paid stuff, it's like demos of us doing videos. We explain it thoroughly. We have exercise notes. We have everything structured for you. So it's like you look at the workout, you do it. You don't have to think. You just watch the video, read how to do it, and so it's like you get a little bit more of that in the paid program just because of like, again, you only have 60 seconds on Instagram. And really, all you're paying for is the organization and the implementation.
And there's that individuality piece of it too, right? I mean, like we'll do weekly calls, we'll do technical breakdowns, we'll see what you need specifically, or we'll tailor your program to your specific, I don't know, your workplace, your lifestyle factors. Like if you work a manual labor job and you're still trying to progress in your sport,
Right.
that might look a little differently than someone who has all the time in the world.
Wow, that's a really good point, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. You guys are, dude. I love it. I love what you guys are doing. I think the scope that you guys are in is very vast.
Bro, the target market is there, bro.
It's there.
The need is there, bro.
And the people that are watching this are like, yo, I need to get locked in. So if you're thinking, all right, man, I need to get faster. I need to be able to catch, whether it's in rugby, being able to get up and go. The acceleration needs to be fast, right? Being tough. We can't be trucking people if you ain't got an extra bit of you know what I'm saying? So if you're looking for that for football, whatever sport it is, basketball, these are your guys. Because what you guys are actually doing is I think is gonna be like the next big thing in terms of sport teams and incorporating this type of expertise into the program, because the program is the last thing. It is literally the last barrier to actually changing our sport world forever.
Bro, you know what they're doing, bro? They're trying to get everyone like Tyreek Hill, bro.
Oh,
They're trying to get everyone like Tyreek.
Bro, we're gonna be old. No, we're gonna be old and be like, oh, remember when nobody knew the secret sauce and mankind is just sprinting to the grocery store, bro. Oh my gosh. 3:32 to the grocery store.
That's insane. 3:32 to the grocery store is crazy. Bro, carrying all the bags indoors with the one trip.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. No, like I rate it.
Yeah, fire.
I know how tough it is to put structure to something that's structureless, like in order what you guys actually did. I'm very, very, very happy, and I'm very it gives me a lot of joy and hope for the next generation, especially coming out of Saskatchewan, because that's where you guys are based, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And you know how little is in Saskatchewan too, so it's like we want to help out people who don't have a lot of access to stuff either.
Right.
You go to the States, and it's like you get so much in the States.
Right. Yeah.
As far as like sports goes.
Yeah. That's actually, I'll be working with or do you know the club RWC
Oh, does that sound familiar?
in Running Wild Club
Yeah. Okay.
in Saskatoon? So
Yeah.
okay, so I might be doing some clinics where with the children via over virtual mediums, and I think the ages it's pretty wide, like 9 to 55 or something like that.
Oh,
so potentially I could have you guys as guests, or like you send in something where I could show and do
cross pollination.
Yeah.
We'll collab. Let's do it.
Yeah, because I mean, some of the videos that we're planning is, for example, it would be with no equipment, because some of these families don't have the equipment, right? So it could be a bag of rice or whatever it is, for like med ball overhead, whatever it is, right? We can make is a program that I have that I can share with you guys, and then we can like refine it for like a larger audience like that. But yeah, if you guys are up for that.
Yeah, we're gonna keep us posted.
All right, we'll do.
Fire.
You hit it here first.
Bro, this is a phenomenal conversation, bro.
Yeah, next round was fun. This is actually a blast.
Yes.
bro.
Of
Part 2? Question mark?
Part 2 has to run.
Yeah,
Part 2 has to run. Okay, last question. I gotta ask this question. People want to know. Maybe it's just me. But so Heidi is your sister, right, Jonah?
Oh no! Yeah, but people do want to know.
People do want to know.
What is this?
People want to know.
What is this?
My sister is Heidi.
Yeah,
My sister's Heidi.
yeah. And what's your girlfriend's name, there, Dawson?
My girlfriend's name.
That's
crazy.
It's a really common name.
Let's go with the last name. I'm the last name. My sister's last name is Brad, by the way.
Okay.
Last name.
That's all the time we got.
So respectfully, how I know. Hey. Also, these men are best friends. Hey, relax.
Respectfully, bro.
It ain't even like that. It ain't even. Hey. I had to let him cook a little bit, but I'll give them the context. Don't worry. You know. But how do you guys handle that dynamic now, being business partners together? And what's that dynamic like? I know, Branning, you're a family man's, and Dawson, you guys have been like rocking friends and pretty much family for like years. I've never seen you guys go without each other on the track ever. Like, so what's that like for you guys?
You could probably say more, but it's probably in the middle.
Yeah, I don't know. At first, it was a transition. I mean, there's a lot of pressure. But, not much changed at all, really.
Yeah.
And, fitted with their family super well. Obviously, a better relationship with his extended family or Kaylin. Yeah, his cousins, people like that. I don't know. It's almost feel like part of the fam in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know, you see that situation, everyone asks, and everyone's like, oh my god, how is that even possible? How do you make that work? But really, it didn't change much initially, and this hasn't been anything too crazy, honestly.
No, because I never get in the middle. I mean, I never really know what's going on, but I actually get in the middle of stuff. Anyways, I can just treat you like you're my buddy, treat her like my sister, and just go about it that way. The problem is leave me out of it.
Right.
Bro, to be honest,
That's how it should. That's how it should
but
be.
in this dynamic, I've realized that especially when we're talking about guys, when people get I can't believe whatever, is when it's because you know how your friends are. So it's nah, I'm not finna let you.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So if your friend is somebody who you're no, you're actually a good person, then you can rock. You know what I mean?
Just some scumbag, then it's
Yeah. Because I know a lot of people who are
that's valid. That's
their
valid.
friends
That's valid,
are their friends or whatever, but then they all get up to
shenanigans.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you try and date my sister, it's no, bro.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, shoot.
that was a banger closer.
I gave them a locked and loaded.
Bro, you had that since the start of the video too.
I did, bro. I did. Nah, I had to make you guys get warm real quick. No, but now that people know, and I know it's
Might
all.
have to put that in the beginning of the video. not to give it to the end.
Oh man, I really am thankful and grateful for you guys for what you're doing, and I had to end it a little like that, you know what I mean? But find them. The stuff is in the description on the screen. You know what's good. Go support. If you want to run faster, just be fit. Just
Facts.
they know what they're talking about, right?
I'm about to be a testimonial soon because I'm about to be windmilling, bro.
Facts.
No cap.
Hey, I got some new spikes I want to talk to y'all about. Right? So, thank you guys so much. I know that you guys keep it real classy, and appreciate you guys for keeping it that way over here, because we're family, and I appreciate you. I learned so much about Sam today, actually. I was like, this man is Iron Man for real.
That was a great compliment. I got. No, that touched my soul.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
Iron Man.
I
bro?
didn't know you were moving like that, bro.
Nah, Iron Man is a great cut.
That's crazy. Anyways, we rock with you. Anytime, reach out. We can do another part 2. Maybe after July, everything calm down and everything. But yeah, anything you guys want to say before we do the outro and that?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I
out,
appreciate
fellas.
you.
That was sick. You guys are good at this. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bro, that's compliment.
That's so crazy.
That's crazy.
You guys have good questions.
Thank you.
So you're going to nationals, right?
Yeah, I'll be there.
I'll see you there.
All right, bless.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I'll see you there, fam. And thank you guys. You guys are great at this too. I didn't realize how in depth you guys have thought this out. Obviously, we just like talked about what you guys did really briefly. And everything we do here, we just want it to be real. I want it to be real. So just even this connection that you guys are watching is we're kind of like, I'm in a position where I'm like, I'm really proud of you guys. You guys are really doing well. You guys know your stuff. I really, really wish you nothing but the absolute best in terms of, you know, the potential clientele you can possibly impact, the people that you can meet to actually, you know, further that journey. But yeah, I'm excited to even work with you guys on the Running Wild Club front and working more with the indigenous community there. And so, hey man, as we said, the sky is just a starting point. And
If you keep us posted on that, we'll be ready for it.
all right, bless you. Another one is down in the books with
Tell them.
Dawson and Jonah Branning. Subscribe, whatever you're listening to, at what time, whenever it is that you're watching on the video or you're listening in your car, whatever it is.
Tell them.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. On Reality Check, we get Dutch.
Check.
Peace.